Hello everyone, and Tom.
Hello Kath and everyone.
Yes, today Tom is here.
For everyone.
For everyone's benefit, because so many people messaged me saying, "Where is Tom? We will unsubscribe."
Because I helped in this as well, yeah.
Yes, Tom helped in this. So you'll notice when we get to decorating, some of the house is already decorated by the time I'm recording.
Yes.
That is because I had to go do something, so I was like,
The
Tom,
loo. I
had to go to the loo! Thanks, Tom. Tell everybody. And so now it sounds like I'm not busy ever. So Tom graciously decorated the sort of living room area and dining area, if that's what you call it, while I was busy.
Yeah. By that point you had done
didn't record
all of the house shape and exterior, but you weren't sure what to start putting inside.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this before.
You had a pretty drab-looking kitchen.
Oh, that's just rude. Who are you to judge?
Tom.
So... Anyway, yeah, I mean, I've said before, but I'm pretty confident at exterior building. Not excessively confident, but you know, I'm not the worst in the world. But interior, I probably am one of the worst in the world. I'm pretty terrible at it. And we had a detailed discussion because I had like a mini crisis, and so I don't know, I kind of have a rhythm of how I decorate interiors, and it's always kind of the same. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, but often I'll put the kitchen and living room on the same sides in every single house. The kitchen's always on the right hand side of the house and the living room's always on the left. I don't know why, but it happens. In this house we don't do that, by the way. I don't know if you guys will think the house's interior in this one is a bit weird. Not on Tom's side, but on my side, because you have to walk through the kitchen to get upstairs.
Yeah, we actually spoke about the use of space in this.
Yeah.
Quite a lot.
We did.
And it would be interesting to know what everyone thinks, but I kept saying to Kath, you do not have to put things there.
Yeah.
You're under no obligation to actually fill an outside corridor, which she still did. But
well, you suggested a barbecue, so I put in a
no,
barbecue.
I just said a barbecue put alongside the wall.
I did put it alongside the wall,
and then you put a whole seating area in there. You'll see it. You'll see it. But or is this a two-parter?
No, it's one part.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So you'll see it.
Oh yeah. By the way, it's one part, and that's because we didn't include all of the interior decorating because it was. I recorded it quite strangely. Like I said, Tom didn't record his part.
No. Because
he is a terrible human
Well, I
being.
didn't know if it'd be worth it. You might have just dismantled it or anything. And you did change it a lot anyway, so...
Yeah, but then we changed it back.
No, we didn't actually. We spoke about changing it back and you added a few things in because I insisted that it looked better when I did it.
It was more unique when you did it. I make it, like you said, I make it look like it's in a magazine, that no one actually lives in it, though. What?
No, I'm listening to you.
Oh, okay. I thought you'd respond. Do you want to say anything to that?
Right. I'm fine.
Okay.
You do make it look like an interior magazine a lot. That isn't bad. It looks very nice.
Yeah, but I
that's
do
why
want them
I
to be
think
more unique.
It comes from that whole you can have empty space.
Yeah.
Like people's hallways are usually empty space and coats and stuff pushed to the side and shoes.
Yeah.
Not every hallway is like ours downstairs, which has extra fridges in.
So yeah, let's mention that briefly. Okay, so I have trouble with hallways, corridors, whatever. Because in The Sims, for some reason, I feel the intense need to fill those. So when Tom decorated the living room / dining area, you'll see it in a bit, but it's a very long room, basically, and it's really open. And there's this little jutting out bit where Tom puts the dining table, and then there's another jutting out bit where Tom puts like this cute little seating area with lots of plants and stuff, where you can go sit and read. Tom said he pictured a grandparent and the grandkid chilling out there. And maybe if the grandparent is anything like Tom's, they teach them to kill pigeons or rats or one of those things.
No, you never taught me to kill pigeons.
Just rats?
No.
What did he teach
you? Taught me to kill rats. Where did you get this from?
I don't know.
No,
it was just
we had at my granddad's we had a little bird bath, and the birds would come and bathe in it.
Okay.
bathe in it. And Granddad would get some bread out, and he would throw them, and the pigeons would start eating. And it got to a point where we had about 20, 30 pigeons in the garden.
They became like vermin.
And there was like a few fat ones.
Oh.
And my granddad was like,
can't have this many.
watch this. And he kept pushing the fat ones away and giving bread to other birds, and the fat ones started to get really aggressive.
Oh my god.
And a couple of them started actually fighting.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah,
Bloody hell.
It was quite funny.
That's scary. He did teach you something about rats, no? Really? Did I just make
Oh, no, mice.
Mice, okay.
Yeah, because he had a mouse problem. So he showed me you just flash a torch on them and they freeze.
Oh, right.
And that's when you can grab them and
right, yeah.
move your thumb
Can you hear
to
the
the back
sound?
of their neck.
This is PG-13.
I never did it. He would never let me.
No,
let me
yeah.
do it,
Of course. He just showed
But-
you.
Because they used to have cats, but they had to get rid of cats.
Because their cat was aggressive, right, and it scratched you when you were a baby.
Well, because she was getting old.
And then she didn't want kids
And a
messing
bit,
with her.
I don't know what nice word to say, a bit demented.
Demented.
And so she was scratching me and Annie.
Oh, so
and
they
my
had
nan
to
was
get
like,
rid of
we
her.
can't,
Oh.
can't keep that.
Yeah.
She was 15, 16 at the time.
Yeah. Gizmo, our current elderly cat, is 14, right? I think she's 14.
No,
She's 15?
she's 15.
Really? She's 15 now? Oh my goodness,
She was
she's old.
born in 2003.
Oh.
Yep.
We were in primary school.
Yep.
Oh. She's old.
Yep.
Here we are doing the back of the house. You don't see all of the building of the back of the house because it took me a long time to figure out what it should look like.
So, did you manage to record this when you showed this to me?
What?
Because you had, when you showed it to me and we started decorating the interior,
Right.
it was actually autumn, because I can see snow.
Oh, it is autumn. It's just we built this on the last day of autumn.
Right,
So
okay.
it's practically winter.
So Kath builds up all these pumpkins and all this shrubbery
Yeah.
and all these dead plants and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And the actual autumn, it looks so good in autumn. Like, it would, honestly, if it was summertime or springtime, the build would look quite weird.
Yeah, no, definitely. This is a very seasonal build. But hey, when summer rolls around, you can just hire some decorators with a new coat of paint, make the house, you know, not orange and green.
I almost wish there was something like in Stardew Valley. I don't know if anyone's played that.
Probably a few people have, yeah.
In Stardew Valley, Kath, you
Yeah.
have plant pots that you can buy and
Right.
stuff like that. But the pots change from season to season.
Oh.
And I don't just mean a sunflower will die in winter. I mean it will literally look like some of them will quite literally be a different plant
Oh, wow.
at different times a year. So it sort of matches the season.
Oh, wow.
It'd be
That's a
kind of
good
neat
idea.
if Sims had something like that.
That is a really good
I don't know
idea.
why they don't decide, because they got magic plants and fruit and stuff in
Yeah,
this
you can
anyway.
become a berry person or whatever you call it, so why not? Yeah, I don't know. Sims is really weird because sometimes they're like, oh, we're all about realism, and then but they have aliens and vampires and plant sims, so it's like, you're not though. Why are we pretending because it fits your agenda now? But I mean, the community is really torn on supernatural stuff. Like, a lot of people want werewolves and witches and stuff, and then the other half are like, no, that would ruin my immersion. A lot of people who bought vampires returned it, but I think that's more because of them breaking in than the actual vampire thing.
I really don't have a problem with the break-ins.
Yeah, it
My
never
problem
bothers
with
me.
the break-ins is how they're treated in this game. You can't stop them.
You can't stop them. There's no
And
burglar
I could
alarms
swear
or
in the older
anything.
games you could confront. You
And
had burglar
could,
alarms,
Yeah,
but you could also confront them.
I think so, yeah.
In this one you can't. You have to literally wait.
You have to
be
stand
robbed.
politely outside and be like, oh well, I can't interrupt the robbery now.
Yeah,
Be rude.
and it's really frustrating, especially when you're playing in like San Myshuno and your sim isn't asleep. They're actually outside late at night, and you can see someone in your apartment.
And your sim's
'cause you're in
standing
the
there
same
like,
zone.
oh, I'm getting robbed again. Well,
yeah,
I'll
you're
stand
just down
here
in
and
the
place.
Spice District,
Yeah.
and you can't go home yet because someone's busy robbing
So
it.
I'll just be like, I'll finish my curry and go up there when he's done looting my television.
It's so frustrating. I don't know why they did it like that. It seems really lazy.
Maybe they'll fix it in the future, but we say that in every video. Anyway, so here's some
It probably
terrain.
would take all night for your sim to bother to
It's
stop
true.
them anyway.
Oh, there's the worst waiting times for anything is for restaurants. I took my Sims to a restaurant the other day.
I can't do it.
I rarely go because it doesn't.
That's one of the reasons
Work.
I stopped playing.
Why?
Because I had done 2 aspirations and I wanted to do the romantic
soulmate
aspiration.
one, yeah.
Soulmate, that's it. And it requires you to go on like 8 dates or something like that. And I was just like, I can't do it.
Yeah, your Sims like freeze
It feels
up at
like too much
restaurants.
work a day compared to other things.
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating because you tell them to do one thing and they just ignore you.
Yeah.
Or
I know.
they
Stand there for 3 hours.
and they shit themselves or something. They're awful.
Sims are horrible.
So yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Kath layers on a bunch of stuff, and I thought the autumn leaves were layers, but they weren't.
Yeah.
Because the leaves fall on it, and also little piles of leaves.
Form, yeah.
They actually intersect with other stuff, and I
Right.
thought that looked really nice.
Yeah, so you'll see it probably in the tour, if not later in the build. But I go into live mode for a bit. You won't see that though, so that I can check that everything works correctly. It does, by the way. Go download it. But yeah, so and by that time, tons of leaves had fallen on the ground, and there's those leaf piles that your Sims can actually play in and rake up and stuff. But there's also just like a sort of layer that almost looks like one of the paint tools, like what we did with the stone path going up to the door. But it's not, and you can't erase it, and it's just a bunch of autumn leaves, and it looks like it's been painted on. But yeah, it really suits it. But I mean, Tom was just complaining about how my plants probably won't look good later on. But just so you are all aware, I did try to keep a theme in mind, even though this is all brown and dark green and dead. All the plants are either white or red. That rhymed. That was like a couplet. Anyway, the plants are all either white or red, so they won't look too weird later on, but the house is definitely for autumn. But there is a cohesive theme. Tom.
Pumpkins.
There is pumpkins.
The pumpkins die?
Pumpkins. No, they're just decorative.
Right, okay.
At least I'm pretty sure.
Can you grow pumpkins though?
I don't know, actually.
It's weird.
I don't think so.
If they add pumpkins, that they can't actually let you grow pumpkins.
I don't know why. If you can grow cow plants...
I've never touched anything like that.
Yeah, but you know they exist. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, if you can grow a cow plant in
You
this
can get
game...
man-eating plants, can't you?
Yeah, the cow plants eat people.
Oh, the cow plants are what eat the...
Yeah. I don't get it, but hey. I don't know if the plant gives you milk. Like I've said before, I don't really play enough to find out.
How do you become a plant person?
I don't know.
It's only a certain time of year or something, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
Like in real life, not in Sim World.
I don't know. I'm actually not sure. I know if you
You
shift
haven't played the
click,
game enough.
if you shift click on your sim, you can do it. No, I haven't. The most I've played is when City Living first came out, and I made my favourite sim. I played with her a lot. I still play with her. She's not dead yet. She's not even an adult yet. Soon though. Soon. What was I saying?
Meanwhile, my
Right.
sim has 2 kids.
And Tom's sim that he made way after mine has 2 kids. And so he keeps encouraging me to make my sims age up, but I have issues with that, so who knows yet. I will, eventually. Again, I stole this path idea from Avalon Sims. Her builds are far better than mine, so go look at those. You probably already know
Wait,
she
what did you
exists.
steal the idea from?
That little stone path by the tunnel thing.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's really cute.
So this house is like incredibly not secluded.
Right.
Because you can't go to the back of your house and feel like no one's gonna like peek in through the window, because someone could someone could just walk in and cross over through that big gazebo
I
bit
know.
and go to your back and then just look in your window of your living room and be like, hey.
I know. That is a problem. But I really wanted that walkway. Initially, I was gonna put cars in that walkway, but I thought it looked weird. It's just because I wanted this to be a rich person sort of
Blow up
house,
cars
but it
and
looked
that.
really weird.
You do that a lot.
I don't do it a lot.
No, I mean rich people houses, you do them a lot.
Oh, yeah.
That might be why you always feel like you need to fill up the space, because you build a rich person's house and a corridor is 5 meters across.
Yeah, it's true.
Or 5 squares across, I should say, not 5 meters.
It's true. Every house
But
I've lived in...
normal houses are like, in Sims term, it'd be like 2 squares long.
Yeah,
corridor.
definitely.
And you've been over to your nice auntie or uncle's house or whatever, and their corridor is 3 squares wide. And you were able to play football in it with your older cousin. Right? But you always make 5-6 wide corridors, and that's probably the reason
because
why.
in The Sims,
Is this when you put down that chicken? That kitchen that I dismantle.
No, I didn't include the footage of the first kitchen.
Ah, okay.
If you're wondering, the first kitchen was on the right-hand side of the build, but I spoke to Tom about it and he suggested doing it here by this open window, and I think that is a better idea. It looks a lot more homely and cute.
Oh, well, the open window is quite strange.
Yeah.
I found, but if you're going to put it anywhere, I think the kitchen works the best.
Yeah, it is strange. I think it's for a barn or something.
But this is why this house is almost weird to me, because it's like someone could literally just walk in through the front, walk around, and jump in through your open kitchen window.
I know, it is weird. To be fair, there are gates before that open walkway, but those are open because it looks stylish.
I think if this were my house, I would probably, when I move in, double the gate size and double the hedge size.
Yeah, I know, definitely.
But I get why you don't, because it doesn't really look that nice, especially in the later worlds that are so sort of, they have things all over them. So you want your house to not look so closed off, because you want your Sims to feel like they can move in and out of the area around it and use that as part of the house.
To make it feel like it, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
On places like Newcrest, of course, it doesn't really matter. You have
because
to cross the road
everything's
to get to the big lake or whatever. It's all just kind of feels like everything's a bit separated. But on later ones like Brindleton,
I get you, yeah. Like in Brindleton, there's those 3 lots that are kind of close together near the back right. And you can kind of, it looks like they're all, I don't know, it looks like you wouldn't have to go through a loading screen to get to the next house. You do, but it looks like you don't, and there's just lots of stuff you can kind of, not lots, but there's stuff you can do around the house that makes it feel like your area is quite expansive. Yeah. I mean, in the city it's quite jarring when you own an apartment and there's so much stuff outside your apartment that looks available to do. But the only thing you can really do is like go to one of the food stands or watch a street performer. But all of the buildings, you still have to go through a loading screen, even if it's right beside your apartment.
Oh shit.
It's a bit jarring. What?
No, just oh shit.
Oh, thought you thought of something. Anyway, yeah. So the build is really weird. It's clearly a rich person house, but it looks really homely at the same time, because autumn stuff has to be homely. Right? So it's cozy, and this section's almost small, which is weird because the house is huge.
Yeah. So
it's a very odd house, and it seems like it was built a long time ago because of the really weird interior structure, I guess. So let's pretend it was, and I'm not just bad at building. But yeah, you have to, so you come in through the front door, and to go upstairs, you'll turn left, and there's a sort of, you see that opening next to the fridge? You come through there and walk through the kitchen, and then where that door is exiting onto the walkway, there's going to be a little corridor sectioning that door off, because it's almost like another entrance to the house. That's probably how their friends get in. Nobody uses the front door, everyone goes to that one, and there's a spare key like under a rug or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really weird. You walk through the kitchen and walk past this other exterior door to get upstairs. And in the area where the stairs start, it's kind of like an office. Not really. It's meant to be like a sort of loungy area where the family sits and chats. Because I don't know. I imagine rich families are like, Gregory, you can't spend all day on your computer, honey. Come sit with us. We're going to talk about school. Because I know I've had friends, it's like they're dead. I have friends with families who like actually dedicate time to family nights, which I've always found really weird. But they do, and sometimes they'll just sit together and talk. Is that not just a really weird concept?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Have you ever done that? Maybe it's an American thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you're from somewhere that's not America, and you do that with your family, and we're just very lonely individuals. But yeah, here's the kitchen. I guess they have 2 dogs, or a dog and a cat, or 2 cats, whatever you want. You're the one downloading it. This ends up looking really different. Well, not really different. The kitchen stays the same largely, but it's not as open as it is right now. There'll be that arched doorway to go through, but we're going to cover parts of it up with walls. And that door leading outside is going to have more shoes and coat racks beside it, and that little shelf thing that has a dog lead.
Oh, yes.
So it's going to be a bit closed off. It's not going to be as open as it is now because it doesn't feel secure enough. I mean, yeah.
I wish there was more clutter.
The clutter
I feel like
feels limited.
even like Animal Crossing Happy Home had more clutter than this.
I know, it's true. Oh, speaking of which, did you guys see the announcement? Isabel's wanted in Smash, and there's going to be a new Animal Crossing next year. Let us know your thoughts on what it'll be.
That must be coming out late.
What?
Because they've got Fire Emblem and they've got...
Yeah,
Metroid
I imagine
coming
it's
out
going to be like
before it.
literally November next year.
Yeah, it must be November, December next year.
Yeah, probably autumn-winter season, right?
Yeah.
Almost definitely. But yeah, so that's something to maybe look forward to. When we first got together, that's when New Leaf came out. And you bought a copy and got a free one for me. Remember?
I'm trying to remember if that was that year. Yeah, it was that year. It was the year we first...
I think so. And I remember once I left my...
No, it wasn't that year. It was the year after.
Oh, really?
Because you were still at college and I wasn't.
Ah, I see. I
Yeah.
see. Oh, by the way, this initially is going to be a parent's bedroom, but it becomes the child's bedroom. I imagined a son, but you can have it be whatever you want. Maybe it's the dog's room. Who knows? The colour theme for the upstairs is clearly orange and green. My favourite room in the house is actually the toddler/baby's room. It initially looks small, and I was going to be really cliche with it, but I think I actually do something fun with it. I can't remember if I include that in the... Wait, no, I do include that in the build, in the video, so yeah, stay tuned. That's coming up, and I promise it won't be boring. What were we saying? Animal Crossing, right. Yeah, once I left my DS at your house, and I called you when I got home, and I was like, oh no, I left it there, I won't be able to play with you tonight, and you just came over and dropped it off. And for some reason you didn't stay. It's because I lived with my gran and it might have been weird.
Yes.
But you came and dropped it off for me.
Yes.
And then we went online
Well,
together.
because that was the game we were playing together.
I know.
Because your laptop was really poop.
It
so
was.
you couldn't play anything else.
You even bought me a fan to put on the bottom of the laptop to...
You wouldn't compete in Pokemon.
Ah, yeah. So, I always battled with my cousin growing up, and I always beat him, and it was really easy because he never thought it through. But I knew that Tom actually did think things through, and he was actually pretty good at Pokemon. We should have an online battle again. I don't think I'd freak out this time.
I mean, we can do it locally now. You live here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but there was literally a battle. So I didn't want to do anything super competitive when we were playing X and Y. All I wanted to do was it X and Y, or was it Black and White 2?
Black and White 2.
It was Black and White 2. God.
I got you.
Yeah.
You stopped playing Pokemon, but I made you start again with Black and White.
Black and White 2, and I wanted to battle Kath intermittently throughout the journey. And I challenged Kath just before we both went to the Elite Four, and it was the only time she actually accepted. And we battled, and I played myself into a corner, and I was like, so I knew it was impossible for my Pokemon to win this. And Kath just quit and forfeited.
No, I didn't
forfeit.
Massive
bottle.
I bottled it, and I healed my Pokemon instead of attacking.
Yeah, that was it. And then
but if I'd attacked, I would have.
Yeah, and I said, why did you do that? And Catherine got really sort of embarrassed and ashamed and mortified all at once. And she said, I can never do this again.
And we've never done it.
And she didn't play Pokemon for like 3 days or something.
Because I don't know why I freaked out so much. I think it's because I wanted to impress you by winning, and I was gonna win, but I freaked out and messed up. I don't know why. I'd only ever played it with my cousin.
How that ended. I think it was your Arcanine against my Stoutland.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and you would have, and I had to swap in, and you were faster.
Yeah. But
you healed up, so I just one-shot you with a move or something.
Yeah. So yeah, we should do it again. Oh, by the way, Tom actually has caught them all. He has a completed Pokédex.
I actually haven't anymore.
You don't? Why?
No, because in Sun and Moon 2 they added that weird electric rat thing. Not Pikachu. You know that
the fat
monkey
one.
Rat thing that looks a bit like an electric Lucario.
Oh,
They just added that in Sun and Moon 2 and a couple others. I don't have them.
Yeah.
So I'm like 3 or 4 away from having them all.
Still though, that's pretty impressive. And you never would have completed it if I hadn't made you play Pokemon again, so it's all thanks to me.
Yep.
Really?
I get to fall in love with it, and then I got to become
disillusioned
shamed
with it.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen a game
Sun
series
and Moon.
handled so
Sun and
poorly.
Moon is one of the most disappointing games I've ever
was
had the
really
displeasure of playing.
And it was strange.
What?
It was just strange that
They took it in that direction, or
no, even their good ideas they just didn't execute well. For one, having only 60 new Pokemon is embarrassing for a game that's supposed to be about Pokemon.
Yeah, and because X and Y introduced so few new ones, I thought this one would introduce like another 100 and
yeah, that's what I was
clock it up to
that
the
seems
next.
to have been how it gone, but they didn't do it.
Yeah.
And Alolan Pokemon
Well, it was
could
a
have
good
been
idea.
really cool, and they only did like 30. I think I'm being generous.
You are. I think it's more like 20.
And the Alolan Pokemon were all from Kanto, and it was really boring. And they could have done it all really cool. And they ditched Mega Evolutions for no
some
other
reason
than that's what Pokemon does. It gets to
Pokemon
a
always
next
introduces a
iteration,
fun idea and then they just strip it away.
And they added the X Stones or whatever they were called, and they
God,
were bad.
and you have to do the dance.
And
also that what were they called? They weren't gym leaders. They were
theme park tour guides.
Yeah,
or something.
whatever they were.
That was dull. And
And
there was just
the
places.
guy with the Salazzle, the fact that your battle with him was spotting the difference.
Oh yeah, that was poor.
Oh, that really annoyed me.
But there was just points in the game where it was just so shit. Like one of the great things about Pokemon is being able to explore, right?
Yeah, and you can't.
Well, you can, but when you get to an area, like there's this one part in Alola where it's a little jungle.
Right.
So if you go all over, say even Kanto, which is the first game,
Yeah.
so it's uninspiring in some places, but the area where you're going to catch exotic Pokemon is the Safari Zone.
Sure.
And outside of that, you're going to find new Pokemon anywhere you go. I know it's first game, but bear with me here. But when you get to Alola, there are like 5 or 6 jungle Pokemon that are brand new. They can all be found in the same forest, nowhere else on the island. That's really strange.
It is really strange.
You can literally do a fifth of the Pokedex for that generation in one area in 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's...
Depends how long it takes you to find your
weird.
monkey that's there, and that's really disappointing.
Yeah. And the fact that they hyped up this new RPG and it was Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee,
That
made
game's
me
clearly
feel
for babies.
sick.
Which
It
makes
is,
me even sadder
but-
that they made the regular game more for babies.
The weird thing is though, they're like, I don't know if they decided the old way of doing Pokemon was too complicated for kids, but we played them as kids and it wasn't an issue.
Further away from being a Japanese RPG.
Feels really condescending now.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the fact I figured it out when I was 4,
Yeah.
I don't think it's that difficult.
Yeah, it's really not. And I was a really dumb kid as well.
Yeah, but Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu feels like it's for
Infants
very,
who
very
can't
young
speak.
children. Yeah, very young children.
Maybe they made it so that parents that are like ours can play with their kids who are like, oh, I don't get technology
Doesn't-
these days. Our parents aren't 80, but they act it. Oh, here's the toddler room. I really like this room. It's cute. We use the debug cheat to get the arts and crafts to stick on the wall. I only know those exist because Tom actually plays the game when he plays it like once a year, and got his kid to actually make some arts and crafts, so yeah, we use those. I try to fill the dollhouse up with stuff to make it look lived in, because it doesn't actually seem to get, like, when you interact with it, your kids will suddenly pick up dolls, but there aren't actually any in there, so I use the superhero figures and stuff. So yeah, it's like the Teen Titans hangout, but it's like a countryside cottage. What?
It's like the Teen Titans hangout, except it's not.
Except it's not. But I mean, there's no dolls.
Tissue next to the bed.
No, it's because it's a baby. You gotta wipe its bum.
Oh, I thought it was a...
No, it's a
Young
baby's
man
room. It's a
going through
baby's room.
puberty.
Shh, it's a baby's room. Stop this. Anyway, this is my favourite room. We stick a toy chest under the table. That's a Splatoon book, clearly. It always reminds me of Splatoon.
Oh, you can tell this is a baby's room.
Because of Splatoon. But yeah, really like this room. Very green, very orange, cute. I feel like I do a lot of neutral coloured rooms, so I want to stop that because it's boring. So we make it green and orange. What? You're frowning.
No, nothing. Oh my god, what's that giraffe came from? I've never seen that before.
It's one of the teddies.
Is it?
It's in base game.
I've never seen that.
You've not looked hard enough. You've never built much.
I hate the amoeba mat.
Amoeba mat?
The amoeba.
Oh, the avocado.
So, you haven't seen the living room that I did?
No,
or the dining room?
You will in the tour.
You will in the tour.
Tom can...
In my rendition of it, it had more trees and plants on the inside, but
Right.
Kath toned it down.
Yeah.
And
now I feel bad because he keeps mentioning it. I'm sorry.
And Kath added a wall in to separate the living room.
Yeah.
Which I didn't like. I preferred the way I did it. Well, she left it without a wall, and I just put a desk behind the sofa.
Yeah.
Because I said,
which
well,
is
this
a good
looks
idea.
natural. It looks like something someone would do. They put the desk behind the sofa and they put their lamp on it and they just reach behind
And
them.
then I move in and stick a big wall
And then she puts
there.
a wall because it doesn't look cozy enough. And then she removes a couple of the.
It's not actually because of the
things I put
cozy
down.
thing.
No, don't start. Don't start. Don't start with me.
No,
No. You had to make it your See, when we go get a house together,
Yeah.
you can't. I'm not having the whole Tom. I want to get that house, and then we buy it. And it's like Tom, I'd like to build a new wall here. That's not how it works.
Okay, well, if you want, we can watch the tour together and you can comment.
No. Just watch the tour. Just
Why?
watch the tour.
No, you should comment.
No.
We never talk about the tour.
Fine. We can make slight comments on the tour.
Okay, we'll be mostly quiet, but Tom will say when I've ruined his
We'll speak softly.
ASMR.
How
ASMR
this
sings.
fade goes on forever.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Bye.
Bye.
You know what I mean?
guys. Sorry. But yeah, next time I build something, Tom will build the shell and he'll put in fireplaces and toilets that I can't remove.
Yes.
And I can't add walls.
Yes.
Just to make me get out of bad habits.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's fine.
Anyway, tour. Woo.
Do you always make bespoke families for your houses?
I do. She's a doctor, he's a detective.
Oh yeah, this has the amazing gate out the front of it as well.
The house
doesn't
your
it?
sim is in has the more amazing walkway.
Yes, but I mean, my wife is the president.
It's true. Somehow. She was a party animal.
So that is the empty space that Catherine insists on filling because I mentioned putting a barbecue next to the wall.
Oh yeah, I filled it with more stuff after this, by the way.
Hope it doesn't rain.
It's covered.
I know, but windy.
Yeah. Okay.
That's really nice.
So that's the wall right there that I put up. I didn't change the dining area.
I made that sitting area.
Mm-hmm.
There's the living room I did, and then I pulled it. Look, there's trees behind the telly. So
I put
unique.
them back.
Yeah, you put them back.
What is that kid watching?
Oh.
That's the balcony just outside the living room.
Oh god, that dog almost killed that child.
That's cute.
Yeah, that is really nice. Hope no one steals one of those pots though.
Upstairs.
Oh, you left the corridor remotely empty. That's really nice. The random chairs, like no one's ever sitting in those.
Well, I tried. I took a lot of your advice. This is the parents' room. The dad plays bowling. Plays bowling? Okay. This is the kids' room. There's the kid. Pumpkin! This is the garage.
The man cave.
Yeah, hardly a cave, it's like a mini house. But yeah, that's it. Hope you liked it. Next build will have less clutter in the corridors.
Less everything. Alright everyone, bye.
Bye bye. Subscribe and like and yes.
Check out the other videos.
Check out other videos. Thank you, bye.